Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Welcome back, All the Smoke, day 2 from the Pump Gala 2025. Just had a great sit down with Darryl Strawberry, and this next one's gonna be just as good, I know.
My guy.
5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champ, over 11,000 yards. We all know Jack is a huge Cowboys fan.
Texas, baby.
And they haven't been good since our next guest played. Welcome to the show, Micah Irvin.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Hey, you know what? I'm finished. We still got more Super Bowls than them.
And we still and that's what you got to be careful about as a Cowboy fan, because
we coming for you.
History is history. But people want to take you to that selective history.
Yeah.
It's their history.
Yeah.
They only want to go those 30 years back. Well, y'all ain't did nothing in 30 years, but we stacked 5 on your ass while you took that. They want to just forget about that. They only want to remember, the last 30, y'all ain't. You right.
Did y'all get the wordplay? We stacked 5 on y'all. I got y'all. Yeah. Stacked 5 on y'all.
Right. So come on with all that. You know what I mean? Don't tell your story. Tell the story. That's why they call it his story.
Yeah.
Not your story, but his story. Tell the whole story.
I'm always fucking with it too. I'm a Niner fan, so I be on Jack tough.
Yeah, them some good battles too.
Man,
Yes, sir.
the NFC Championship games was legendary. Going back to 22-year-old Micah Irvin, what's one piece of advice you would have gave him?
Oh, man. There's so many things I want to tell that knucklehead, to be honest with you. And a lot of my money, man, my money he spent on that jury, he could have left that somewhere and let that just grow. You know, you were going to get them girls anyway.
Regardless.
We didn't need that. You know what I mean? But we think we need that at the time.
Yeah.
But I can explain that more than blame that, because, you know, when you had nothing and you finally got something, you wanted to yell to the world, look at me, I got something. And so that was all part of it. But the whole thing is, honestly, the ride, the whole journey. You know, you enjoy the peaks, endure the valleys, but boy, I tell 22 Michael Irvin, boy, you got a ride in front of you.
Be ready, fasten your seatbelt.
It's a hell of a ride. It has been a hell of a ride. We're traded in for absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? For nothing.
Yes. You were a victim of an unfortunate situation at a hotel. You decided to sue. Can you break that down and kind of tell us for those who don't know what it's about and where it kind of stands?
Well, okay, let me tell you what happened with this. This was a couple years ago at the Super Bowl, right? Now, I just lost my mother-in-law, and I remember coming in. I had to go to work. I was working the next morning. So I had to get up like 8, 9 o'clock. So I came in the hotel about 10:30. I'm being a good dude.
That's early.
Early? That's on time.
You didn't go out.
Right.
You didn't go out.
I went out early because my boy picked me up and we went out and got something to eat. So I had some drinks, but I said I'm coming back home. So I come to the hotel. This is true too. So I said, okay, I'm headed in. I see some guys at the bar, right? They called me over. They said, man, Michael, the Eagles fans, they were talking football stuff. And we're messing around. They offered me a drink. I said, no, I'm good. I got to work in the morning. So I left. I was getting ready to leave. But I saw one dude that had a camera, right? And I knew he wanted a picture, and he didn't ask. So when I walked away, I got convicted. I said, yo, bro. I said, that was cool. Come on, let's walk outside and let's take a pic. So me and these 3 dudes walked outside. We taking a picture, we clowning around, talking about Patrick Mahomes. And I walk back and I say, all right, I'm going to the room. I walk in. I meet a woman, this girl, I don't remember her. We shake her hands. I don't remember what I said to her. And I go to the room. Dude, next day I wake up, do all my shows. After the shows, I come back. I'm trying to take a nap. And they call me to the room.
Who?
To the security.
Okay.
NFL and the hotel security. And I'm saying, call me for what? You know, what's going on? What's going on? They didn't tell me for a while. Michael, we have a situation. I'm like, what situation? Like, I know ain't nobody get to my room last night. You know what I'm saying? Because by now, I done been hit enough that I know if you don't get to the room, I'm good. You know what I mean? Don't get to the room. Most dudes go out trying to look for something. I'm like, I just got to get home alone to the room. Nothing I'll be good. But yeah, I'm thinking like, what happened? What are you talking about? We had a situation. I said, what situation? I said, I said, with the girl. I said, what girl? Well, no girl in my room. That's the first thing I said. I ain't bring nobody in my room. They said, oh, you didn't meet any girl last night? I said, no, I didn't meet anybody. I don't know anything. I came home early because I had to work. I went to my room. That's how it all happened. And then they wouldn't even tell me.
What was going on?
They wouldn't even show me. I said, show me the tape. Show me what? They would. I had to sue the hotel. And then after the judge, they told them, you gotta show him the tape. They still wouldn't turn it over. I had to press it again. But the tape showed that I met this girl in the hall and we had a conversation. And I left. Now, what saved me, dog, I'm telling you, what saved me was those 3 dudes that I went and took the pic with. Because they woke up the next morning and saw all the news. And they were like,
that didn't happen.
What the hell? That's like, that didn't happen. Why would they do that? Dude, let me tell you. For the first few days, I was at a hotel, but I couldn't go to any more Marriotts. So I was at some little dump hotel. They told me, them in the NFL, said, Michael, you can go home. I said, wait a minute, let me get this right. So I'm telling you, I didn't do anything last night. You're telling me I did do something last night. Now you're telling me to go home. So I'm telling you, I must be crazy. And you sending me home to my family. So I couldn't go home. So I stayed in a hotel, got my agent and some people to watch me because I'm like, am I doing something that I don't even know?
What was being alleged?
I don't know. She said something, the girl said, for a while, I don't even know what she said. Then it all came out that she said, I said something like, have you ever been with a black man? Would you like to be with a black man? That's what this was about.
That's a crime?
I don't know.
That's a crime, Ray?
I don't know.
Depending on your skin color.
I don't know.
Fuck the state. Spend on you. Yeah, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with the state.
But I don't think, why would I say that? I don't think I said that. Let me tell you why I said I don't think I said that. Now, I was drinking, I admit I was drinking. Because I'm not a loser. I'm not a quitter. If I'm that deep in a conversation, I'm not gonna turn and walk away, Joe. But I don't lose like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna convince or confuse you, but we gonna walk away together. You understand what I'm saying?
Goddamn right, yeah.
Come on, let's go.
If I'm on that.
Right, if that's what I was after. And that's why I know I turned and walked off.
Yeah.
And when I saw the video, I said, no, I walked off too easy.
Yeah.
I know Mike.
He said, I know Mike.
I know Mike.
Third person.
You know what I mean? No, hey, shoot, you'd have saw me and hold the hand and grab it. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
You'd have had something. But you'd have known I was like, no, I ain't say that. I walked off too, and that was the whole thing. Now, what we think, because we finally got the tape, and you'll see in the tape, was the manager dude, when they were not supposed to engage with us in the hotel. And you could see on the tape, the manager, he was yelling at her. He went in the back, yelled at her. So, maybe they had something going.
Did she work for the hotel?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
She worked for the hotel.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you got through that, man.
I mean, you. I'm glad that I in the sky didn't tell no lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, because I've already been, you guys know, I've been accused of, I wasn't even there. I've been accused of some things that I haven't even been there. So in our world, nobody waits to find out the truth. Nobody cares about that. It's just the allegation. So, yeah.
The lies,
I'm scared.
the lies are more of a headline.
Yeah.
The lies are the headline.
Shout out to our family at Netflix, the Cowboys doc.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, yeah.
What can you tell us?
They kind of sent
without giving it away.
Well, they sent it to me early because they knew, they said, we're going to send it to you. I said, oh, shit. I mean,
Damn.
Yeah. And damn again, right?
Damn.
It's so funny. We did the premiere the other day, right? E and I and Jerry, and we all did the premiere. We were laughing. And I said, E, I understand. Jerry got final cut. You and Troy so straight-laced, that's just what it is. I'm going to have to be the bad boy in this, right? And he said, well, but you kind of was the bad boy.
You kind of was, right?
I said, yeah, I guess you're right. He said it's kind of fitting, But yeah, I saw the doc. I think it's fascinating. I think about the journey. It's all about the journey. And what made our journey together, when you talk about Emmitt, me, Troy, Deion, and Jerry, all of that was like how it all came about. Emmitt and Deion and we played against each other on the top 3 teams in Florida State, Florida, and Miami, and we became boys prior to all of this. So to get together and then play together and still be boys to this day, you know what I mean? That's what I think this whole documentary about. Like we started off too, we went 3-13 and 1-15. We didn't just start on a great team, and then we built it into something great. Dude, there was nothing like winning that first Super Bowl, man. And after going through those early years of losing like that and then sitting in that locker room like, dude, we actually did this, man. Oh my God. Like, and you talking about it, taking down the 49ers, who took that thing from Dallas, so we had to go take that damn thing back, not on my watch. So that was, we really got it back. That thing was, it was incredible. It was an incredible thing. And I think that's what the documentary catch. You know what thing, I tell you what surprised me a great deal too that I think people find very fascinating is the Jerry Jones story. Mm-hmm. When you hear about some of the things that Jerry did, I mean, even in college, prior to really owning a football team, a sports team, an NFL team, because he always wanted to own an NFL team, and how he thought about the business. I don't want to give it away, but I find that to be fascinating. You know what I mean? I find it to be fascinating. How his dad taught him about marketing, and his dad had a grocery store. I'll tell you this one. His dad had a grocery store, and he would do concerts in the middle of a grocery store. So, you go.
Entertainment.
And marketing.
Yeah,
and he said to his dad, you doing all this to sell lettuce? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you come in that town and you see this and you walk away, no matter what town you go to, you say, man, this grocery store had a rock band in the middle of it. Yeah. It really is marketing, and it's just fascinating. I think you guys will find it fascinating.
That, yeah.
Jerry and Parsons are heavy in the news right now. Parsons claiming that Jerry is disrespecting him, which he is. We know how Jerry moved, man. We need to figure out how we gonna fix this, bro.
Yeah, especially Mike. I was disappointed about this one. I knew the game would be played when you talk about Dak and CD and all of that, but Michael, I thought we should have made kind of like what your generational player, like a
statement with his deal.
Right. Like what Kansas City did with Pat Mahomes. Mm-hmm. They went and said when the average was about $50 million a year, or $45 million a year at the time. They said let's give them $500 million deal. 10 years, $50 million.
Make a statement.
Right. You make a statement. But what they also do, they can tinker with that. They go back into it,
and exit early.
Every time the money gets up, they go back into it and give him some more money, Patrick Mahomes. And that's what I wanted them to do with Michael. I thought they should have given him one of those 10 years, $450 million deal.
Yeah.
That's 45 a year, make him the highest paid AP on average, and still be able to tinker with them and go back into that money and mess around to bring in other players.
He is that generational talent.
He's that generational talent, and he lost the Cowboys. I see this because when I was working his draft. Mm-hmm. Dude, I was interviewing players, man, and I didn't even know who this joker was. This joker came to me and said, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be what you doing. I'm gonna do what you do. That means, I said, and we had a time to have some conversation. He was like, I said, what do you mean? He said, man, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna win me some Super Bowls, and I'm gonna be doing broadcasting. So I love that he's following that path. But he wants to be a Cowboy. Mm-hmm. He's always said he wanted to be a Cowboy. I think, listen, our game, what we do, is different than what most people do. Mm-hmm. See, most people, to get to the top of that game, they'll punch a computer. So they gotta top it off their skill. As long as they're improving their skill, they can get places. But our game is different since it's hand-to-hand and man-to-man combat. We gotta improve our skill, but deepen our will since I'm going against another grown man. Mm-hmm. And his will to want to be a Cowboy, and always stated that. You want that in the locker room. I wanna see what a happy Micah Parsons look like without DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that they didn't have problems in that locker room with the spat that they had when DeMarcus Lawrence left.
Yeah.
That was in the locker room. And football's a different game. I need everybody to play together. So I know there was a division there, and I want to see what this defense looked like without division. And Jerry has caused it with the Micah Parsons thing. And then in finding Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Now you see those two are working together. And yeah, that bothers me. That worries me.
I can't let him go while he in his prime. Let's talk about Shedeur. How you feel about what Shedeur doing?
Hey man, I was so happy for Shedeur. I was just, I was thrilled because I thought that was devastating what happened at the draft, dude. And then when I interviewed Deion the other day, I'm gonna tell you something. That was the most difficult thing for me because I love him. He's my boy. We're so close. All of us are so close. And I knew that he had cancer because he called me right away, brought me up, told me. And I really, it was a burden on me because I didn't want anybody to find out. I knew he had only told me. If somebody find out, I don't want him to think I violated it anyway. I would never do that. And so I didn't go into details when he told me, like, what happened? How you know? When did you find out? All of those things. And then he said, come on, I want you to do an interview. And I came over and we were doing the interview. And I was finding out things. Like, dude, I almost broke down when I heard he had cancer during the draft. Do y'all understand that he had cancer during and then his son drops like that. I'll get emotional talking about it. But to think about, you worked all your life for this moment. And your dad, you didn't have it with your dad. You worked all this hard. You worked hard with your son side by side for this moment. And in this moment, you got cancer now. You think you're dying and not telling anybody. So at least if I can have this moment, if I'm going to go, then I'm good with that. You know what I mean? And then your son drops, and you still. That was hard for me to hear that my guy went through that and to be right there because I didn't know the details of it. And it's even hard for me to think about it or talk about it because I know what it means. But then to see how Shedeur is handling it.
Couldn't handle it better.
You cannot handle it better. And when you get a mess like that, like he did, you turn it into a message. That's what makes him him, and that's what makes him great. I tell people, you hear him talk about it all the time. He's on Instagram, on all his social media. He's all inspiration, motivation. Positive. That's what he gives. And you've heard the talk. God displayed his walk. He gave you evidence that he believes what he's saying because he has to walk it out. That was tough for me to watch him go through it. But I'm so happy with how it has come out and how Shedeur is playing. You know what I mean? So yeah, all that thing that devil meant for evil, God made it good.
Yeah, and we don't have the relationship you and Deion have, but he reached out to us too, and it was tough for us to even hear. You know what I'm saying? But he built for whatever.
Yeah.
He built for whatever.
Yeah, he's built for it.
Yeah,
he's built for it. And his message is right, though. Dude, we do, especially us as black men, need to go get checked more and check up on things. Because, like even you got the money, you be like, man, I ain't going. The doc gonna tell me the same thing. I gotta go pay for all that stuff. That's what brothers do. Until we got about to break down and fall over, then we're gonna run to a doctor and try to fix something. But I done got bad with it. I'm talking about anything. I ain't finna die with all this money in the bank. Hey, boy, I'm telling you right now, boy, anything, boy. Hey, doc. I was chewing something the other day, so I'm hurt. What do you think that was, Doc? I'll call that joke in a minute, boy. He's that y'all, boy. Hey, boy.
I love it.
Hey, I'm gonna figure out what the hell going on, man. So yeah, we got to get better at all of that.
Yeah, definitely us.
What up, football fans? A long summer without the game is finally over, and the season is almost here. I'm teaming up with DraftKings Pick 6 to give you a shot at the biggest bag ever. Right now, all DraftKings Pick 6 customers can enter free. Hit your 6 picks, and just like that, you can land your share of $1 million or more in cash prizes. Here's how you play. Pick more or less of 6 stats, Share it with your crew, because more entries means a bigger bag. Nail all 6, you're in for a cut of cash. Head over to DraftKings Pick 6 app and let's build that bag together. And if you're a new customer, don't forget to sign up using promo code SMOKE. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Ever sign up for a phone plan thinking, jeez, that's a great price?
But then a few months later, surprise, your bill is higher.
With Boost Mobile, you pay $25 a month, and that's forever.
Word.
With unlimited text, talk, and data, starting at just $25 a month.
No price hikes, no contract, forever, fam. Plus, Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. They've invested billions in building 5G towers all across the country, fam.
Visit boostmobile.com or head to your local Boost Mobile store to get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month, forever.
5G speeds not available in all areas. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds.
Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan. On September 13th, we'll change boxing history. Netflix brings you the boxing match of the year. 2 worlds, 2 legends collide in the ring. Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, holding every major belt, and Terrence Crawford, undefeated, explosive, and only one of 4 fighters in the history to become the undisputed in 2 weight divisions. Get ready for the fight the boxing world's been waiting for. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, an epic battle for the undisputed super middleweight championship. Canelo versus Crawford, Saturday, September 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Live only on Netflix.
$15 to 17 children to Walton Pearl Irvin. What was it like being in that household in Florida?
Man.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. And I got my family hard, man. It's one of the real.
How many girls, how many boys?
We got 9 and 8.
9 and 8, okay.
9 and 8. And y'all think about now.
That's an even squabble on both sides.
Right. And I still have the house that we grew up in, this little tiny house, man, in Fort Lauderdale. I still have the house. My sister's in it. Like, since I got so many brothers and sisters, like some of my nieces and nephews that my brothers and sisters not doing well, I'll bring in and they live and stay in that house. And, I send them to school and they do great. They're doing
So
great.
they get back on their feet.
Yeah. Well, to help them get started.
Yeah.
Because my sisters and brothers may not be in a good place, but I gotta help them. I tell my older sister, even my kids now, because they're old, I said, you do know, anytime I spend money on you, it is spending.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandbabies, I said, when I spend on them, that's investing.
That's investing.
That's investing. You know what I'm saying? There's the difference. But yeah, dude, listen, I wouldn't trade anything for how I grew up. We didn't have anything, and I was the 15th, so I'm one of the younger guys, one of the younger ones, and I got my butt whooped a lot. That's just what it is. You got your butt whooped a lot, But yeah, man, it all worked out. Growing up with this many family members, I remember my sister. She bought a pair of cat heads. Y'all remember what cat head shoes used to look like? I played basketball on cat heads, $1.99 from Kmart. You'd be sliding all over the floor. They looked like Nike, but the swoosh was upside down. Mm-hmm. They wasn't really Nike. They were upside down swoosh. They called them cat heads. Now, my sister used to buy me, she bought me a pair of those when I was in like the 9th grade. And then when I got drafted, she said, boy, you remember them cat heads I bought you? I need a house.
I need a house.
I was like, how did those cat head shoes turn into a house?
$199 went to
Interest.
How did it go?
Interest.
But I did get her that house.
Yeah, that's dope. I love to hear that. Interest.
Once you was asked, how are you willing to go through the middle, you said, Michael, either I go run that slant or I'm back in the ghetto.
Back to the ghetto. That's what I tell them. If you get afraid, that's how you beat fear. Because you hear people say, Michael, you were fearless. Nigga, no, I'm not. I'm human. What are you talking about? Fear is real. Courage doesn't say I did not have fear. Courage says I have an ability to overcome the fear.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was telling people, how do you overcome that fear? So every time I lined up and ran that slant route, I get ready. And everybody knows, watch Mike, he's come slant right, watch Mike on the slant. Nigga, that's running lot right there. I'm not scared. You ain't scared. That's running lot, nigga. I'm scared.
Yeah, you scared.
That joker
Him.
right there, that's the nigga that went over to somebody and said,
Cut my finger off.
cut my finger off so I can go hit somebody some more. Wait a minute.
I ain't never heard it like
This
that.
joker want to cut his finger off to come hit somebody again? Nigga, I'm scared of
Another
him.
game.
You crazy. Yeah. Cut his finger off so he get back in the game. What? And I got to run a slant route.
They do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
And he
the
went
tip-
back in there and
the
hit
tip-
a joker. Yes. That's what I'm telling you. And he want to hit me. Stop. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared, man. Yeah. And I got to put it up against a greater fear. That's where little Michael comes in. When I line up, trust is blue. 262, because that's the check for the slant route. I said, damn, here it comes. I look around and say, God damn, old finger cutter right there. You gonna hit me in the head, right? Right. So then little Michael comes in. He says, Michael, I know you scared, but you either run that slant or we run back to the ghetto. I said, kiss my ass, brother. Here I come. I'll run that slant and bust his ass. I ain't going back to the ghetto, bro. I ain't going back. You got to put it up against a greater fear, but you definitely be afraid.
They should have definitely made a little.
And it's human nature. Let me tell you something. You got to now take it to the next level. I tried to tell some guys in the game. There's a natural tendency of your body when you're around pressure to tighten up. Like if I strike my hand towards your face, you're going to blink, even if you say I'm not going to blink. That your body has a natural tendency. So I run a slant route, right? And my body, the way you catch a football, you gotta have that give. You gotta have that give right here to catch it. So I tell people, they say, oh, Michael, can you ever catch on your body? Or catch a pass in your body? I say, yes, you do. Well, they say you should always catch in your hands. I said, whoever wrote it never did it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta
Catch them up any way you can.
Right. And you catch it the best way you can amidst pressure. Yep. So if I'm running a slant route and I know these people are around me and they know I'm running a slant route and I got pressure on my hand, my body's gonna tighten up. Just like when it's a natural, you wanna tighten up. If I tense up, that ball hits and falls. Mm-hmm. Or if I tense up, I don't close my hand, that ball goes through my hand. Now he still when I was playing, he still gonna hit me.
Yep.
Now the nigga got a free hit. You see what I'm saying? He's still gonna hit me. But now, I say, when I run it, and I understand this is third down. This is third down. I gotta catch this to get 2 more downs, and I gotta get them other downs so I can go get my money from there.
Yeah.
So right, so this third down. So I wanna make sure I catch this. I can't do this, ball goes through because I'm tense and everybody. So I said I would catch it here. If I catch it here, even if you hit me, boom, boom, and knock me out.
Still got
on the way to them carry me to the sideline, I'm gonna stick the hand out and first down. And they gonna take me to the sideline. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna catch the ball. That's what I'm saying.
It's like what was that, Rod Tidwell?
Right. You gonna see,
Remember Rod
the hand
Tidwell?
don't come from up under the sheet later and say, first down. And they gonna wheel me out there.
Oh, shit.
Wheel me out, man.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna get that first down. That's why they call him the Playmaker.
Yeah. You are notorious for your hard work. You used to run routes till you puked. Is that the same mentality you, like you say, not going back to the ghetto, I'm gonna work my ass off and make sure I'm strong by the fourth quarter?
That was my victory. Now think about this. And I was so happy Eric Allen just got into the Hall of Fame because I used to tell people, I had to go through I went through gold jackets.
Yes, a lot of them.
To my gold ring. Mm-hmm. That means I played one-on-one all the way around the floor. Deion Sanders, Darryl Green, Rod Woodson, Aeneas Williams, Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson, and now Eric Allen. These are the dudes that followed me all around the football field, everywhere. Yeah. When I went to the bathroom, we were right there taking a pee. We better get back in this game. Oh, let's finish this up. Okay, let's go. You see what I'm saying? These jokers now, you know, they don't. Those were real dudes right there. I just mentioned, real dudes. So I take pride in that. And you know what's so funny, dude? All of them. We the best of friends now.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how that works out? Darryl Green, I'll go speak with him at an event that he'll do. You know, Darryl does these church events. I love him. And then I got to come speak. I'll be like, damn. Darryl, Deion, these perfect dudes, man. when I'm sitting here talking with Deion Sanders or Darryl Green, so I have to come up with stuff. I say,
Here comes some bullshit.
yeah, God loves all his kids. And I say, hey, if you can, and I couldn't, if you could do it right, do it like them, boy, because they perfect. They ain't never, they ain't never drink, smoke, chew, don't even hang around anybody that do, but I did. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I say, do it right, if you could do it like them. But just if you make a few mistakes like me, he'll still be there for you. You see what I mean? I'm trying to incorporate all my bad with all that goodness.
Good, right.
And make it sound good.
And make it work for the good of the people that we are speaking to.
Yes,
that's how you have to make that work.
You remember Tim McKay?
Oh, yeah, I remember Tim.
He from Port Arthur, Texas.
Tim, my boy, man. Tim played with Deion. Right. Tim played with Deion, and oh, my God, and when Deion, and we got Alexander Wright, this dude, fastest dude in the world. Dude ran a 4.19, squatting 500 pounds, and I said, oh my God, I got something. We were playing Atlanta, and he's so fast, Deion had to go to him. Mm-hmm. And we just kept running him deep. And Deion was just running with him. And I was over there with Tim McKay. And we just running him deep. I said, Tim, we got Deion off me. It's your dad's birthday.
It's your birthday.
I ate his ass up. Deion was running back over there to me talking, y'all playing. This ain't no track meet. Y'all ain't gonna even throw that joke on the ball. Listen, I said, I must have had like 10 or 12 catches on Tim. Man, I was killing him, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim my boy too, man.
Yes, sir.
How did y'all get Deion to defect and come on over to Dallas after the Frisco round?
Oh, no, that was me. I recruited Deion. I called him. Jerry talked to me about it. Because Jerry asked me about it. Mm-hmm. He said, we have a chance maybe to get Deion Sanders. He brought me in the office. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, I've been talking to his people. I said, all right, you talk to his people. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna call him.
Right to the source.
Right. So I called him, and we were talking about it. I said, man, listen. He said, man, San Fran is booming over here, man. And I knew it was for him because he had left Atlanta. Atlanta going to San Francisco, that was big. Yeah. I said, now, that jump you made, my verbatim word was, that jump you made when you saw Atlanta to San Francisco. I said, whatever that jump was, multiplied by 10 when you come to the Cowboys. It's gonna be a whole different thing. He said, really, dog? I said, no doubt, man. We ain't gotta keep beating up on each other. Let's go beat these other niggas out. Come on over here, let's do it.
I hate to hear this. I hate to hear this.
So I told him, I said, hey, listen, I told him I'm gonna set something up for you when you come on in. You come in town, I'm gonna set something up. Then I gotta set this thing up at the club called Guantanamo Mirage. Help me get Deion here. We brought them all out there, boy. That
all of them.
Ooh-wee party. That was ooh-wee party.
Can you tell us about, because Max talk about it too. Max says Bernie Maxwell, he says it's a whole bunch of y'all that came up around that area, coming up that play professional sports. It's a whole bunch of y'all, football players, baseball players, basketball, Florida, that come up in that era around the same time. Yeah. It was a whole bunch of y'all.
And all from Florida, bad boys.
Yeah.
And that's why when you go back to talking about like what it was in playing with the Cowboys and playing with Deion and Emmitt, and that was everything. Because for some reason, I don't know, we just thought, Florida didn't get what it deserved. Mm-hmm. And dude, there was a gush of players that came through Florida lately, and it terrorized. Yep. It terrorized.
So before you stole Deion from the 49ers, y'all got in a legendary slapboxing incident mid-game.
No, that was Rising.
That was Jerry
Rising?
Yeah, you know what?
Andre Rising?
I hope I.
That was, my fault.
Andre Rising, right?
That was Rising, right.
That's right.
You know what, man?
That's right.
Let me give you all that too, though. And that's why. And okay, you know about Rising, and
they was boys too.
Yeah.
Right. And they went south with each other. But then even when he went to San Francisco and they had gone they're going to Super Bowl, him and Jerry got into something because Deion went out on a Monday or Tuesday night and everything. And see, I knew all about that. And I was using all that in my recruiting tour. I said, listen, dude. I said, listen, man.
You go out on Monday.
I said, them jokers,
I'm
all them
I'm
other receivers.
going to go with you.
Rising and right. Them ain't Florida niggas.
Yeah. Ain't Florida boys.
I said, you and me, we different.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been with them anyway.
Yeah.
so come on, man. We'll never have any issue because we boys, and we don't, and we're the best of friends. That's my boy, man. That's my boy. So, yeah, that's how I got him over here. That's a bad joke. I was tired of that joker, man. Yeah. Come on over here, let's play together. Absolutely. Let's stop beating up on each other.
The U, 84 to 87, national championships at 87, 3-time All-American, 85 and 86, led the ACC in touchdowns, set school records with receptions, yards, and TDs.
That's why I put Deion on the map. Now, I told y'all that Deion was a rookie at Florida State, freshman at Florida State. He come in and I said, I got this joker, man. It's all the hype. We were early on in the Miami game. We're playing Florida State. I said, hey, told Vinny, I said, I'm going to get him on the out and up.
Testaverde?
Yeah, I'm going to get him on the out and up. I said, trust me.
That's his name.
He wants to jump this. He wants to intercept this ball. Man, I ran there out. It was beautiful, too. I saw him run by me. I said, gotcha. Turned up, man, waiting. Vinny threw the ball. I'm looking at the ball, looking at Dillon. I said, come on, ball. Come on, you bull. Come on, ball. This joker ran down the ball, ran me and the ball down, pushed me down, jumped up with one hand, caught the ball, and was running the other way. I was laying down the car like, this joker running with my football the other way. They put a pic of it on Sports Illustrated. So I told him that was his coming out party. Though he never beat me in college. Yeah. He did have, he won some battles. He didn't win the war, but he did win some battles.
How did you land on number 47 as a receiver, making plays with number 47?
That was wild
to me. Man, right, dude. But listen, I ain't want that 47, dog.
Saying a receiver, that 47.
Right, dude. I ain't want that 47, dude.
I ain't want that 47.
How the hell 47? Man, listen. Let me tell you how Jimmy got me with this.
They put a linebacker at receiver.
Man, Jimmy. I never thought about it like that either. I never thought about it. Right, Jimmy. Because we had just lost Eddie Brown and Stanley Shakespeare. And I remember Jimmy said to me, because I went in, I said, Coach, I don't know about this number 47, man. I said, it just doesn't seem like a cool number. I said, I want to know if I can switch it to 7, right? Yeah, I really, it's a true story. I said, I want to know if I can switch it to 7. He said, Micah, let me tell you what I see when I'm on that field. And they throw you that football. Man, you come running down the field, you look like a 747 landing in the end zone. I swear, he said, I was like, really? He said, yeah. He said, like a big 747 come landing in the end zone, boy. I said, ooh, I love to see that. I said, Coach, really?
That shit
I
dope,
said,
man.
okay. Walked out. Like, damn, this motherfucker, okay, this is dope, man. I swear, when we got to the Cowboys years later, we were having some drinks, talking about it. Coach said, I couldn't believe you bought that story.
Oh, I love it.
I was like, but I made that 47 stick, though, boy. I made 47.
Where 88 come from?
88, 88, because when you come to Dallas, if they wanted, if they're considering you to be a great receiver.
Oh, the number 1 receiver.
Top receiver. They want to give you, 88. They wanted to give you 88, and I met with Drew about it. I really didn't even want, I thought that was a hell of a burden. But Drew was so great, man. Drew was like, no, Michael, I want you to wear it. And I said, I'll try to do what you did in this number. Mm-hmm. And it was so prophetic and fitting. He said, no, don't do what I did. Do better. Mm-hmm. He said, do better. And we've always held on to that. When I give it to Dez.
Oh, Dez, then CD, yeah.
Yeah, Dez, and then CD. But even the ways you can go about finding out if someone's worthy of wearing it. So if I'm in a room, say you're Dez Bryant, and I'm in a room and we're talking about this. Young Dez, you may be Jerry Jones. I'm sitting there talking to Dez. Hey, you think you're prepared to wear this number and do what you have to do? Dez, especially a dude like Dez, because Dez like, what? Man, people say we look alike. People say, because we were coming up, man, we play alike, because I was the dude then. And he was mimicking all, man, come on, man, I can wear it. Certain things people will do that will give them away. I will make sure all 3 of us is in the room. And I'm looking at Dez. Mm-hmm. Jerry's right here. I'm looking at Dez. I can look at some dudes, and I talk to some dudes, did this with some dudes, and they'll look at me, yeah, Michael, I can do it. And then I'll look at Jerry. I'm telling y'all, I can do it. I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the one.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the one. See, if you look at the mission, not the money, you might
get it done. Yeah.
Dad only looks at the mission. I bet you I could do it. I bet you I can do it. Won't even look at the money. That tells you he wears 88.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I need a man on the mission. The money will follow the mission.
Yeah.
I like that. Uncle Luke and the 2 Live crew, any boat stories that you can share?
Or not that I'm sharing over.
not me.
I wouldn't mind sharing if y'all ain't catch me a couple times. You know what I mean? But shoot, you ain't never had no real killer talk about killing. You know what I mean? When I hear Joker talk about killing, I ain't no real killer.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
How inspirational was he around the program? What kind of mentor was he at that time for you guys?
Luke was a good dude because Luke, honestly, you got to remember that was a while ago before guys were making any kind of money in college and everything. And remember us coming through Miami and how that all came about, you know. That was Howard Snellenberger going into Coral Gables, Florida, University of Miami, and saying, who had been losing forever, saying, I can turn this program around if you let me go into the ghettos of Florida and bring those players out. So you know, that's what they did. They brought all us in. So Luke was one of the first brothers that really came around us with money and everything and a lifestyle and showing us things. And he's always been great. You know, he's always been great helping us with business, anything, because he was doing it before all of us. You know what I mean? Making sure that we stay straight. So yeah, man, he's been a great resource for us.
All right, quick timeout. NBA 2K26 is wild this year. Gameplay got a whole new motion engine. Catch and shoot feels smooth as hell, and the rhythm shooting, man, it's locked in. My team even brought in the W, so now I got Caitlin Clark pulling from the logo. MJ talking crazy mid-game, and Shaq bullying everybody in the paint, breaking rims, throwing elbows, straight domination. It's ridiculous in the best way. My career has a brand new storyline. The city's tighter, and you're on the court faster. No waste of time. NBA 2K officially drops September 5th, so lock your pre-order in today. The first time I saw myself on 2K in the early 2000s, it changed my life. I've been playing the game ever since, and I need an early copy. Early access kicks off August 29th, so the real ones are already in the game. Don't miss the run, all over everything. This episode is sponsored by Row. All right, guys, let's talk about the unspoken signals. You know, the one your partner sends when they're in the mood. Maybe it's a surprise kiss that lingers a little longer, or a playful, discreet butt grab when you're in a public place like an elevator. Those aren't just random acts of affection. Fellas, those are cues. And when you get those signals, that's the sign to pop your Rose Sparks. Rose Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for those guys who need that secret weapon. After Rose Sparks dissolves under your tongue, they work in about 15 minutes on average. They work faster than the old school treatments because they hit the bloodstream quicker than those old school pills. No more waiting for the pills to kick in. When the mood is right, you'll be ready. With Rose Sparks, guys get more control in bed and more pleasure for their partner. Row connects guys with medical providers 100% online, so you don't have to waste time in waiting rooms or have awkward conversations with those in-person providers. If approved, treatment ships directly to your door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Rose Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at ro.co/smoke to find out if the prescription of Rose Sparks is right for you. That's ro.co/smoke for $15 off your first order on a recurring plan. Compound drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to ro.co/safety info.
You skipped your senior year. Entered the 1988 NFL draft, selected 11 to the My Boys, the Cowboys. You finally made it. Get mom out the ghetto. How did that feel?
That felt great. Now, you know, let's say this right. Now, because you said I skipped my senior year, that means back then I graduated early.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Well, you couldn't go into the NFL when I came out unless you graduated.
Oh, really? I didn't even do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's how Bernie Kosar got him.
Okay.
Bernie Kosar really graduated after his sophomore year, and why I did it so I can control my draft. That's how you control the draft.
Interesting.
So I don't know if you guys just saw Sterling and Shannon was on, and Sterling was telling Shannon that, oh no, Green Bay was trying to draft Michael Irvin with the 7th pick. And so since I graduated as a junior.
Could have went back if you didn't want to go
Right.
to the team.
And they have to call me before you draft me.
Okay.
Now I'm the poet's broke joker in the world. You know, I'm broke because I don't know what. I'm over here negotiating with the big boys like I knew something, right? So because business was my degree is BMO, Business Management Organization. So I figured, okay, I got it. I want to make sure I go play in New York, LA, or Dallas. My dad was a big Cowboy fan. I wanted to play in Dallas. So I wanted to control this. And I needed to get out anyway because all my brothers and sisters, you know, they were waiting on me anyway. They were like, "You ain't got 4 years, no. Well, you get out here right now. We can't hold this thing." And they waiting, you know how it is. They all waiting. So I went to school. There was no need to go home. I did all summer schools, stayed, graduated. We were getting $25 a weekend. 15 off the top had to go back home to mom, you know, so you had $10 every weekend. So yeah, I wasn't going to stay around long. So when you graduate early, I didn't skip. I graduated, when you graduate early and a team calls you, like Green Bay called with the 7th pick, and they said, Michael would like to draft you. I was like, man.
Going back to school.
I'm a brother from Florida. I
Green
shouldn't
Bay.
be going to Green Bay. You see what I mean? And temperature ain't right.
For sure.
Not at all. I mean, weather-wise and brother-wise.
Yeah.
It ain't right. Both sides, temperature ain't right. So no, my whole family started saying, no way, Green Bay. And then Dallas didn't even call. They just drafted me, you know. And I knew they would because Jimmy had already told me he was coming. Jimmy told me, he said, listen, I know you graduated early. He said, Dallas is going to draft you. He says, none of those shenanigans with Dallas. I said, no, Coach, I want to play for Dallas. He said, I'm just letting you know because I'll be joining you probably the next year. So he let me know that.
Dope.
He let me know. But it's so funny, I had Norv Turner was there that weekend. Norv Turner was the offensive receivers coach for the Rams. They wanted to draft me. I wanted to play in New York or LA.
Who were the
Top
quarterbacks
choice
at
with
the
Dallas.
time? With the Rams, who was the quarterback with the Rams? Who was the quarterback in the Rams? Remember?
And Henry Ellert was the receiver. Who was
Jim
it?
Everett?
Jim Everett. I saw Jim. Wait, at the pump. I saw him a couple years ago here. Jim Everett, him and his wife, because they do some things here in LA now. And he said, "You blew my rings.
Ooh, coming to LA?
Yeah, my ring. Yeah, I would have, boy. I know, boy.
Tough.
Boy, God is good. God knows.
We had ED. We had Eric Dickerson
Some
yesterday
things
too.
might not be ready for. I tore up Dallas pretty good. I don't know that I need
LA.
I don't know that I'd have made it out of LA.
He said, I don't know if I would have made it out of LA.
Right, I don't know if I'd have made it. It worked out. It worked out perfectly.
That's
it
funny.
worked out perfectly.
The triplets, Aikman, you and Emmitt Smith. What's y'all friendship like back then, and is it still the same today?
It is absolutely still the same. And that's what's so great, man. I promise you, I can tell you this. We've never had an argument. We've never had a falling out. We've never had any kind of issue. I'm talking about even when we were playing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's all been great. I don't know, we didn't start out doing this triplet thing, but somebody kind of tagged it as we went along. But yeah, it was what it was. And I'm gonna tell you the one thing that made it so great, once we got it rolling, you know, because we didn't have it rolling at first. And since we took so many whoopings at first, and we used to come back and have those team meetings, lost 5 straight games, and you want to have a team meeting, this stuff got to stop, and we're going to make sure, don't matter what plays they call, Joker, we going to win, and you still go get your head kicked in. You know what I mean? You were like, damn, this is just different. This is different. But when we got it going, the standard was the standard. And we were able to keep it going. If anybody came around this team, you didn't practice like this,
Fall in line.
you got to go.
Fall in line.
It was like, hey, you can't be my friend if you can't help me win. You got to go. That's just the bottom line. And that's how you kept it going. And to this day, think about it, to this day, so many of those guys, all of those guys, we're still pretty successful. We're still moving, pretty successful, and we're still very close.
A lot of people don't give Aikman his props when they talk about quarterbacks, but I say Aikman Me, he was more of a football player than a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was tough as nails.
Man, tough dude. Troy got sacked 11 times in a game. 11 times in an NFL game. I mean, you had Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner busting his butt. 11 times, and he kept getting back up. Never got on his line. He just kept going, man. He was tough as I don't know what, man. Yeah, they don't give my quarterback near the type of credit that he deserves. But he's one of the greatest ever played.
Jimmy Johnson from my hometown as well. Your
Port
coach?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Coach Israel, yeah. That's my dude, dog. Coach Jimmy, really, Jimmy, when they gave him, put him in the Ring of Honor, I was standing in back of him. This is after he was getting his Hall of Fame ring and everything. I couldn't stop crying, man. I couldn't stop crying as I watched him because, you know, Howard recruited me. Howard Snellenberger recruited me. And then Jimmy came in my first year. And I had just lost my father coming out of high school. Dude, I was
lost.
I was rambunctious, Mom. I wasn't taking no nothing. I told everybody in school, I'm coming to get somewhere. Don't come playing around. So the first day there, I'm getting in fights, you know, busting jokers in the head over at the lunch table. I had never seen a lunch table like that. And then these jokers messing with me, busting them in the head. I got to go see Coach. Coach is like, Michael, you know, we can't be fighting. We're not going to be fighting teammates. We got a lot of people to fight. And then 2 days later, I broke another dude's jaw in a fight in the locker room. And your coach is like, listen. Try not to. I'm just trying to be patient with you here, you know.
Damn.
Right, damn. Right. One of them. So I was just thinking like, man, that joker should have sent me home, and he didn't. And if he had, we wouldn't have been here, you know. So yeah, those times were, man. So Coach Johnson's my guy, man. He was really patient with me. He was really patient and he got it right. And I'm gonna tell you what he used to do, because he knew all of us came from the ghetto. Every Thursday night, I tell people this, every Thursday night, Coach Johnson would make all of us, that group came from the ghettos, meet. He would always give us Whoppers or Big Macs or something, you know, give us some food. But we have to sit there and come up with plans. What are we planning on doing after football? And talk football in that room. We did it every Thursday night. And I think back now and I look around, like the dudes that were in that room and how many dudes are still successful. And I said, wow, I owe that to him. You know, because we were coming from places where you didn't see people playing those things. Yeah. And he knew that. So, yeah, he was good about that.
Emmitt Smith. How special was Emmitt?
That was different. That was special. Emmitt, Emmitt first year, comes in Dallas. I pick him up. He's my roommate. He has on these MC Hammer type outfit. I was like, what this sucker wearing, man? You know, it just clicked on me the other day. We were watching the pictures in the documentary. I was like, oh, this joker came in with this MC Hammer outfit, but now I dig it. I can get it now. Because he was saying you can't touch this, and you couldn't touch that joker. Emmitt would be in a meeting, sleep like that. I'll wake him up. Get up, man, we'll meet. And he'll show up Sunday, rush for 200 yards. Like, how did this joker rush for 200 yards? He was asleep in the meetings, right? Next week, I said, y'all let him sleep. He good. He gonna get the 200. Don't worry, let him sleep. But yeah, he's a different dude. One of the greatest things, dog, you guys get it. We get to talk about, like, we got our own journeys, but I think one of the greatest things, like, you can't tell Deion's story, you can't tell Troy's story, you can't tell Emmitt's story without me. You know, we got a chance to witness that journey. Emmitt said to me the first night, think about this, our first night, for the first game we all played together. Emmitt was my roommate, we were roommates. I was like, all right, young buck, what you plan on doing? What's your goals? Because this is what Coach always said, what's your goals? He said to me, I'm gonna become the all-time leading rusher, and we're gonna win Super Bowl. Dude, I had won 4 games in 2 years. I said, shut your
4 games in 2 years.
Let's go get some sleep. We'll talk about this tomorrow. You know what I mean? I had won 4 games in 2 years, 3-13, 1-50, and here this joker come in here talking about that stuff, and he did it. He did it. You know, that story, I'll hold on too. I watch them do it. I watch him more Monday morning go get his massages. You know, I was still hungover. I ain't gonna get the massage.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? He took care of his body, did all the little things to get that time in that I should have been doing. So yeah, he earned that. That I'm proud of.
He played with a separated shoulder for a while too, didn't he?
Dude, he played in that game.
Right.
Let me tell you how that came about.
I remember that.
Because he and I, we always, him 22, I was 88, we double trouble. Before we go on the football field, we always go and hit our chest, hit our heart, double trouble. That means by land or by air, we're about to whoop your ass. Don't matter. If you want to stack the line of scrimmage and stop the run, stop the land, we're gonna bomb you out. So if you want to back up and stop the pass, we gonna run you out. Either way, we gonna get you out of here. Right. Pick your poison. So we would always do that prior to the game. So one time earlier, I had ribs cartilage damage. We're playing Washington. And Darryl Green and the coverage was on me, and he's like, Michael. I was like, you know, because you guys have
That shit's the worst.
Oh,
it's the worst.
you cannot breathe. Anything feels like your ribs crack. And I was like, in the hut, he said, man, you can go. I said, I don't know. He said, how hurt are you? I said, it's pretty good. He said, they don't know that. You just sit your ass out there, I'll run. This was Emmitt said. You just stay out there, they don't know you hurt. So I'm sitting out the line of, but it's hurting. And we had this kind of commitment. So we were in that New York game, and we needed this last game of the year. We needed this game because we needed to bye to get ready to make the run, to try to make the run. And Emmitt's out there, he hurts his shoulder, and I was like, damn. He was like, I don't know, because they take him off the field. I said, can you go? He said, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I said, they don't know that. Just stand back there. I'll catch the pass. They don't. Right. Hey,
They don't know that.
But I guess Noah forgot that his shoulder was out.
He got some carries, too.
What's called forgot his shoulder was out. The offensive coordinator, Ernie, and they handed him the ball. And man, and he started. He just started. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. One of the greatest games. I told him that after the game. I said, man, that's gutting it out.
You remember
that's
what he rushed for?
Performance.
You remember what he rushed for?
I don't remember what he rushed for.
But I remember he got a lot of
carries.
Oh,
man, listen, man.
I remember that.
He tore him up, though. He won the game for us.
Yeah.
He won that game for us, and we needed it.
When you read this headline, officer admits to paying to try to have Dallas Cowboys star killed.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind?
I'm glad that Joe got hired an undercover. I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? But you know, that story, what that was, you know, what happened when I got caught when I was in that situation in the hotel room. You know, this girl I was seeing, she had a friend. Her friend was married to this police officer. And they would come to the hotel and we would be hanging out doing things. And then I think when it all went down, he found out. This was a police officer. His name was Johnny Hernandez. He found out and that his girl was coming, and of course we were doing things. And he didn't want everybody to hear about it. So he figured if he take me out, there'll be no case. And so he tried to hire a hitman, but he hired an undercover. And I was in court when they stopped the court and brought me in the back and told me that this police officer had hired a hitman.
Wow.
You know, and that they arrested him. And, you know, they gave me, for getting caught in the hotel room with women and the drugs, I got 4 years probation. He tried to kill me. He had 2 years, I think, in jail. So I'm gonna still be on probation when he get out of jail. So I can't be around any undesirables, all that stuff, because I'm on probation. First thing I did was when, you know, after about 2 years, I was getting ready. I snuck back to the prison. I got to go talk to this joker. He's about to get out. They tried to put me in jail for going to jail to talk to him. I went to apologize. You know, I'm like, well, y'all about to let the joke out. I should go apologize, or you just gonna put another hit on me. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was kind of a mixed thing. But I really did want to apologize to him. You know, I didn't mean, you know, I guess I took his woman and, you know, and he wanted to take me out for it, and he was embarrassed. But I was like, man, I didn't know. They didn't, you know, they didn't tell me.
Yeah, they're not gonna tell you.
Yeah, that was hard. That was hard. But I when I went to go see him, man, the dude was crying like a baby, man. I've never seen that touch me to see how he was crying.
Wanted to kill you because you took his woman.
He just said, man, I've been praying.
That's crazy.
He said, I've been praying and praying and praying and praying.
Shouldn't
I
have did.
just want to apologize to you so much. He said, I've been praying for you, man. Praying that you come. I can't believe that you're here. And I ain't tell nobody I was going. I didn't tell anybody because, but the chief that was watching over the jail, and it still got back to my judge, and they were trying to throw me in jail because I went to see him. I was like, dude, I wanted to make amends with the man. What happens if we don't make amends and he's getting out? Y'all you see what I mean? So yeah, that was crazy.
Helped lead Cowboys to Super Bowl wins in 1993, 94, 96. Which one was the sweetest? The year I graduated high school.
Right. Everybody always asks which one. Y'all know nothing can ever top that first one. I don't care what they say. Can't nothing ever top the first one because it's the first one. You know, all them dreams that you've had all the time are going to be realized in the first one. And the first one was right here in L.A. It just happened to be the right time, man. It was, man. We would crash, I think, a babyface party. They were doing a award show. Man, we were so loud. And they were like, excuse me, you guys gotta be down quiet in the back. We're trying to have a party here. I said, we are the party.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We here, we were out of here. You know what I'm saying? We were out of here, man. It was nothing like that first one here, man. We walked out on the field at the start of that Super Bowl in Pasadena. You know how you talk about, man, all these games, they're just games. I can play anywhere, it doesn't matter. But when you walk in a Super Bowl, it's a difference. It's not just a game. You know what I mean? That crowd went crazy, man. I was like, oh shit! Like it takes your breath away. So there's nothing like that first one. Nothing.
When you line up against one of the best DBs, which you named earlier, what's going through your mind as you get your feet set, hands set, and looking back in towards the quarterback?
Now, it depends on how I purposed out this game. You see. If I'm playing somebody, if I want to beat him, I'll attack his weakness. Like, you know, but if I'm playing somebody that I think I'm gonna play again, or I may see twice a year because he's in my division, then I may attack his strength. You see, I'll attack his weakness to beat him. I'm gonna attack his strength to break him. You see, if I'm gonna see you again, I want you to know. Like, say you're a physical cornerback and you like to try to be physical. Okay. Now I'm gonna come and show you I'm out physical in you. So where do you go now? You see what I mean? So my thought process is not always the play, it's the man. I gotta beat the man. So I'm thinking through him. If it's Darryl Green, who's so fast and quick, I'm just going to out-muscle.
Stronger.
I'm out-muscle. But if I get a bigger guy, then I can out-quick him. Deion became a problem. Deion was a problem because he was big and fast. You know what I mean? Strong, and then I have to come up with more ways. And then he has to, when you see Deion, when he's trying to put one leg back, he'll put one leg back when he comes to press because you can't beat me with both legs either. You can't line up like this and I'm like this and you stop me. You see, I put in too much work and I understand. This is football. But we are still incorporating laws of inertia, like a moving object, hitting the still object, giving the same weight and size, and move the still object. So, okay, I just got to make sure I'm the moving object. I'm the moving object because I know the snap count. Blue 18, set hut, I know it's 1, I know it's 2, so I'm going to move before you. I know it. So now, when I set here, and you got your legs like this right here,
No chance.
It's impossible for you to stop me because now I'm the moving object. If I hit right in you, I should move you. If I'm 210 and you're 210, I hit you in the middle, I should move you. But I'm not gonna hit you in the middle. I'm gonna hit off that right shoulder. I'm gonna hit off that left shoulder. So I'm gonna take my 210 through your 105. It's impossible to stop. Like this. I'm here, I'm there, I'm gone. So Deion starts doing this. So we meet force with force right here at the line of scrimmage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I have to rethink, okay, how am I gonna beat this joker now, you know? So it's always the man that I'm thinking about. The game, I'll deliver how I'm gonna deliver it over him. I'm gonna either beat him or I'm gonna break him. But his ass gonna lose.
So I want to ask you this. Now, you said receivers, they got 10 different ways releasing off the line now.
None of those work. And they're all scared.
They're stepping back and all that. None of that shit works.
Because you're letting the man win. His job is to throw up the timing of the play.
Right.
You're giving it to him right now by stepping back.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody designed to play where you step back.
They crossing their feet at the line.
All
that
that
shit
pretty,
now.
but that's just Instagram shit.
Bluff. Yeah.
It's Instagram stuff. It's all.
Here's the bag work.
You do all that you want, and he's still there.
Yeah.
So that was all a good dance. But
Now
my
what?
big boy about to hit your quarterback in the mouth.
Yeah.
You still got to come this way.
Yeah.
So all of that is, no, I'm going right
tough.
now.
Yeah.
Who was a tough DB off the line, physical, that we wouldn't think of? You named some great ones. Who's someone we wouldn't think of?
Who this joker named James Hastings?
Oh, yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Strong.
I don't think I've ever do that much. That was
Tough, huh?
He was so strong, dog. And I thought this was the first time nigga ever messed with my head. Cause I was like, okay, let me show you.
Eagles?
He played for the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Played for Chiefs. Man, I got down, man, and came off on that dude. I said, God, you know, you could feel when somebody's God damn, he's strong, right? God. Yeah, it was James Hastings, man.
Interesting.
That dude. Now, if he backs up, I can kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But
he knew that.
But he knew that.
Yeah.
He was very strong. That's the strongest dude I've ever gone up.
That's dope.
Football is scary, but, you know, I've been carted off. I got undercut and couldn't feel my legs and been carted off, and I just had back surgery. But you had suffered cervical spine injury in 1999 against the Eagles and was carted off the field. Philly fans cheering and shit, showing no class. Talk about that.
That, you know, it's funny. I knew that I would never play again. Now, I tried.
In that moment.
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah. You know, 'cause leaving that day, man, I was playing with my boys and everything, and I kept saying, we'll play when I get back. And I remember even saying in my head, man, somewhere, and I don't know why I said it, but I said, God, man, God, when I finish playing football, I'm gonna get right with God. You know what I mean? And I spoke it. I spoke it. And God was like, I guess he said, oh, that's been the problem.
You ready now?
Well, let me get this out the
Wow.
way. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, I thought about that when I laid on it. I said, God darn. Because I was playing with my son. I said, we'll play when I get back. I said, I guess there will be no play when I get back. Dude, and my leg, you know, because remember they were telling me to uncross my leg. And I didn't know the severity of it. What made me know that it was, because I couldn't really feel anything, was when I looked up and I saw, when you look up, you'll see Deion over me doing this, praying. Deion, and when I saw his face, then I got scared. I was like, oh, you know, because I saw fear in his face, and I got worried. And then they took me to the hospital. Jerry wrote to the hospital with me. You know, I'm gonna tell you something about the Eagles owner. He came into the hospital room and he was visibly shaking. His lips were shaking, and he apologized. He was trying to apologize for what the fans had done, and I was like, you know, I told him I wanted to kind of give him some relief because I felt it on him, you know. And I said, listen, I understand. And so the fans were not cheering and understand the severity of my injury. They were, you know.
You're the Cowboys.
Want their team to
One of
win.
the best.
Tired of me whooping that ass.
Yeah,
You know, so you know what I mean. I understood what it was. It's so funny. And Philly fans now, I go to when I'm in Philly. You know, they're like me. They're real big fans, passionate fans. You know, I'm doing a game. Green Bay and Philadelphia playing in Philly, and I'm doing TV. Every time I get ready to talk, I spit me down a little salt, down.
For life.
Right.
Life.
I I'm like, Dallas ain't even here. So we go in the commercial. And I go over, I'm talking. I said, dude, what the hell is up? Yo, this is Green Bay and Philadelphia. What's the Dallas stuff? They said, Michael, we don't like each other. But the one thing we can agree on is we both hate Dallas more. Dallas sucks. And then I was like, all right. So, it's just what that is, man. It's just the passion of that fan base.
Well, quick hitters, first thing to come to mind, let us know. You played with Troy Aikman your entire career. If you would have had an opportunity to play with one more quarterback, what quarterback would that have been?
Dan Marino.
Ooh, yeah.
Dan Marino. I wanted to play with Dan Marino, man.
In Miami.
Yeah, in Miami. In Miami, man. They drafted James Pruitt, I think the year before me. I was like, darn, they're not gonna do it back to back. But also, when I think back, that's best. It's best. Somebody asked me one time, what was it like the night before games and all of that with the girls when you're winning Super Bowls? I said, it was great, man. I was focused. Like, I didn't have any problem with girls. The night before a game, I'm about winning. I was focused, unless it was an IAN. And he said, well, what's an IAN? I said, a Colombian, a Brazilian, an Italian, any one of the things, you know what I mean? All the things they got in Miami, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it.
So it might have worked out good that I didn't play around all them IAs.
I got an IA.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
them
fine,
IAs, boy, they'll keep you up.
Who's your GOAT?
And where? What sport?
Football.
Football?
Yes.
Honestly, to go to football, I would give it to Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
I call Jerry Rice Jesus in cleats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the joker I had in my locker, and I wanted to chase all my life, man. I just thought that he was phenomenal, physically phenomenal, and to play for 18 years. I only really played about 9 years. Jerry got to play 18 years. He's to me. He's to me. I would call him the greatest.
My God. One album you could listen to on repeat.
I'm one of them old-fashioned dudes. I'm a quiet before the storm. The only thing I can listen to all day on repeat is Old Al Green. Old Al Green. That's what I listen to. I'm doing a rehab. All that, everything. And all that old quiet storm before I unleash hell. So that's what I listen to, even going to the game.
Make you want to do wrong.
Yeah. It comes from when we were younger, back in, when you sitting in the car playing the 8-track tape, just, going over your rap.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with a rap, things I'm gonna say to the girl.
Yes.
You call that your rap, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was me.
Top 5 wide receivers of all time.
I get people all the time talking about this, because they caught more passes and everything. I always tell people, I think Jerry Rice the greatest player of all time. I think Jerry Rice the greatest receiver of all time. Yeah. But as soon as you finish with that Ian Rice, you better start with the Emmitt Michael. That's what I'm talking about.
So Jerry won, you too.
I'm gonna go. I would go, man. I thought you talk physically gifted or actually play what they did on the field. Because physically gifted, you start looking at a Megatron, you start looking at an Andre Johnson. I'm talking about, think about this, Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson, I look at, when I'm in the Hall of Fame, I look around, I see Jerry Rice, I see his quarterbacks. I'm in there with my quarterbacks. I can see Sterling Sharp, I see Brett Favre. I look at Andre Johnson, and I'm like, damn, how'd you get in this room? Your quarterback ain't coming. His quarterbacks ain't coming. You see, those are different kind of dudes right there. Andre Johnson got in this room, and his quarterback is known, his nickname is the pick six. Matt Sharp, that's a pick six. He threw pick sixes. That's how bad that dude is when you're talking about physically gifted dudes. Now you talking about results in physical gifts, then you got to put in a Randy Moss. Randy Moss, that's just that size, that big. I'm gonna tell you a guy I would throw in. One of my top 5 all time is Andre Reed.
Andre Reed.
Nobody going, I would put Andre Reed. I'm throwing Andre Reed.
He was a big receiver too.
Right there. Andre Reed was the bad man, inside, outside, prior to what they got out and what they're doing now. So I would probably, Jerry Rice. I'm putting me in there. I want to go, that boy Andre Johnson was such a bad boy. Just a bad boy. But I'll go Randy Moss, Andre Reed, and put a fifth. And the only reason Andre was he didn't have the things around him to get him to where he's winning championships and everything and all that. You put T.O. in there. I put T.O. T.O.'s in there.
What do you rate Larry Fitzgerald? Because I was a big fan of Larry Fitzgerald.
Man, me too.
He catch everything.
Man, everything. And Larry's another. I was glad Larry got Kurt Warner later on in his career.
Yeah.
But Larry's another guy that was a phenomenal receiver. And Chris Carter, there's so many of them. It's so many. But so many people do different things. Like Chris Carter, he's not going to outrun anybody, but I think Chris Carter got some of the best hands you've ever seen.
Guaranteed on third downs.
Guaranteed. Best hands in the world, man. And he understood the game in a great way.
Rank these three: MJ, Kobe, LeBron.
This is a hell of a debate. Now, y'all get into this all the time, and people get into this all the time. And I think Jordan is a phenomenal player, and certainly all that he has gotten, he deserves. But when you look at LeBron and what LeBron has done, even Kobe, I think Kobe's a great player, phenomenal. But you look at LeBron and what he has done. LeBron has changed things in a big way. All Michael Jordan accomplished and all he's done and all he did, he couldn't get his own owner to extend them another year. Like, dude, come on, man. This is what are you doing here? What is that? LeBron came in a different way and has done a different thing. And now LeBron has some control.
He changed the business of basketball by far.
Right. It's not just dribbling. His business acumen.
Oh, incredible.
You gotta
One of a kind.
You got to give him some chops. I remember they were arguing that he wouldn't, when him and Kobe was in the All-Star game, right? And Kobe wanted to go one-on-one with him, one-on-one. You know, we want the alpha male to show up and take over. Alpha male, show me you got the alpha male. But that wasn't his game plan. He's like, I don't have to show up and take over. I really want to take over. So instead of beating down the top players like alpha male, he was like, no, I'm trying to partner with these guys so we can do bigger and better things. We can have more control. LeBron got way more control than Michael Jordan ever had over this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So we started talking about GOAT. Boy, I mean, on the court, you can say, Michael Jordan was the GOAT. Of the court, you gonna say LeBron James is the GOAT. It's on the court and of the court. And LeBron of the court, because what he has done in basketball, he's the GOAT. But playing, I'll give it to Michael, no doubt.
They both billionaires.
Yeah.
Childhood crush.
My childhood crush, Janet Jackson.
Janet, huh?
Janet Jackson.
I like that.
My wife looked like Janet Jackson. Boy, I told Janet Jackson was my baby. Wow.
You ever met her?
No, thank God.
Thank God.
What? If I'd have met Janet Jackson, you'd have had another Michael Jackson. You'd have had two Michael Jacksons.
Goddamn right up. Goddamn right. Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. This dude is crazy.
I'm crazy. I'm bullshit. But I ain't lying.
Funniest teammate you ever had? On what team?
Oh, man, I was so blessed with funny teammates. Like I told you, like Nate Newton, Deion, Charles, Haley, all these jokers, man. We've had some crazy teammates. I mean, Charles is as crazy as any, man. You know, and I've done some crazy things, you know. So yeah, I would have to go. Crazy as Charles.
Haley?
Funny is probably Nate Newton. Big fella.
Charles Haley?
Yeah, Charles Haley.
Charles got rings with both of us.
Yeah. Charles,
He got rings with both of us.
Charles is a mug, man.
Yeah.
That's my dude, though. I love him so much, man. That's a crazy dude.
If you could see one guest on All the Smoke, who would it be?
But
You have to help us get your answer on this show.
Emmitt. Y'all haven't had Emmitt on? Y'all haven't had Emmitt on?
Nah.
Oh, this is why. And how many times I've come through here? I'm amazed. This is my first time even getting here. You guys are always here with the pump, right?
Yeah, this is our second year.
Take care, man. Right, man. So yeah, Emmitt would be good. A great interview. You got to have that Deion on?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
That's the one.
We done been to Colorado, all that.
Yeah, that's
our guy.
Okay. You got it. Yeah. I wouldn't. Have you guys ever had Tyreek Hill?
Yep.
See, I think Tyreek Hill. I haven't seen it. I think Tyreek Hill's unique dude. You know, a very unique, cool dude. I like to see like his little game, you know, because we got some of that Napoleon in him. You know what I mean?
Gotta be.
But it makes you great. It makes him great. So I'm okay with that. Who else would be very interesting? Have you gotten Jaden Daniels yet, young quarterback?
No, that'd be awesome.
See, I think
That'd be awesome. Jaden Daniels would be dope.
because there's so much around him and so much going on with him, and he's so you know, and then with all this with his mother stuff and all of that, you know what I mean? I would wonder.
Yeah.
Just from outside looking in, like I would ask what kind of relationship he has with his dad, you know, and all of that.
That's a good call. I like
Is
that.
it true he's dating Superstar?
I hope so.
Is that true?
Talking about your girl,
Yeah. Is
basketball
that
player,
true?
I don't know.
Juju
Yeah,
Watkins.
that's why I didn't say her name.
Juju?
I didn't know it was true.
Yeah. But I hope so.
Yeah.
I saw that and I saw I said, Mom sitting between. I was like, no.
Come on, Mom.
Let that one go.
Come on, Mom. That's
Let
okay.
that go.
That's okay.
Right. Now,
Look like that.
if she came from one of them, what's your name club?
Yeah.
Put something. You gonna sit between her, but that one let that one go. That's it.
Dallas Cowboy documentary coming out on Netflix. When does it come out?
August 19th.
Make sure you guys
August
check it out. We didn't talk about the White House, but I'm sure y'all talk about that in there.
Boy, White House. What White House? You talking about? Talking about the place Trump in right now?
Hey, we appreciate you, Dodge. Michael Irvin, we appreciate you, bro.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, why you bringing up Trump House?
Yeah,
Why you
crazy,
bringing
right?
up Trump
Crazy
House?
shit's happening there. That's a wrap. Michael Irvin, you can find us on all the Smoke Productions and the DraftKings Network. We'll see y'all next week.